Welcome to the Trailchasers podcast.
This episode is presented by Nexen Tire. With this wet winter weather, you want to get as much traction as you can. Go get yourself a set of Rodian MTX tires for your winter adventures. And the show is also brought to you by Icon Vehicle Dynamics. The team at Icon takes a holistic approach to your vehicle performance. The suspension components, the shocks, the Icon alloy wheels, they all work together. Go check out what they've got for your rig at iconvehicledynamics.com.
Today on the show, we talk to Andre with TheTrailTrek on the gram. He learns us about Subarus and diesel tent heaters. I'd like to personally apologize to Dre about the content I brought on this week's episode. With all the dystopian talk these days, I'm starting to regret some of the comments I made about our wonderful high desert friends.
Yeah, Matt, you don't want to talk shit about our future overlords.
Hey everybody, we are in the studio with Andre. You know Andre as TheTrailTrek on Instagram. How are you doing, man?
Doing great. Really excited to be here today. It's been the relationship has grown since King of the Hammers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's we met Andre at the Icon event at King of Hammers.
Yep.
He was brave enough to hang out with us around the campfire.
I don't know if that was a good or a bad thing.
I didn't scare him off or nothing.
And then Matt interviewed you a couple times at the Off-Road Expo. At the Adventure Expo.
A couple times.
No, apparently they both, neither one of them came out good.
Yeah. Well, so what happened was because we messed up. I messed up charging on the wireless receiver. We were trying to use the mics on the portable recorder, and all it did was pick up wind. So I was like, I can't use either of these interviews with Andre.
I was gassy that day.
So screw it. He's coming into the studio, and you came into Corona Central here because literally we used to be the city of Corona, and
you guys are going to still own that? Like, don't you want to distance yourself?
Like Anaheim Corona? Angels of Los Angeles, or
it's not called the East Vale virus, that's for sure.
So you guys going to change the name to COVID-19 to this town?
Central COVID-19.
COVID California.
Oh man, that would be wicked. Speaking of which, elephant in the room. It is today is Monday, March 16th, and apocalypse is just getting started. We
don't even bother going to Costco.
Yeah, don't. Toilet paper's gone. Canned vegetables are gone. Soup is gone.
Ammo is gone.
Yeah, ammo is gone.
Yeah.
I just got the word today that my office has gone full remote going forward for the foreseeable future. So hopefully you guys are out there and being safe and feeling healthy, and everything's going okay for you guys. We're going to continue.
He hopes that.
Yeah.
For me, it depends. I'm going to be picky. I don't wish everybody to be healthy. There's certain people.
Who specifically?
I can't say. They know who they are.
Oh, that's mean. That's mean.
What does it rhyme with?
So I know there are a lot of people out there that are dealing with more impact than we are right now. But we're going to continue doing the show and putting out content to keep you guys hopefully laughing through all of this,
or entertained,
or at least
something to watch,
something to listen to, at least something to listen to. So anyways, Andre, I wanted to get you on the show. We had a great conversation out there at Hammers. We hung out for the weekend. Yep. Again, getting to hang out with you at the expo. And then I think you've got a really, really good story behind the Subaru build, because you see the Subarus out there doing stuff. You see them on the trail, and most of us are like, man, that guy brought his Subaru out here, and you're wrecking it, like you're doing it. And I want to have that conversation about kind of the history of how you went down that path. To start with, is the Subaru your first off-road vehicle?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't meant to be an off-road vehicle. So I don't know if you could call it that, but that's what it become. I mean, my first car was a Toyota Tacoma.
Okay.
But it was just a street mobile, you know, like it took you from point A to point B. And then kind of as I started to have to commute more, wanted to get something with more MPG, and I found the Subaru Crosstrek, and then I went down a rabbit hole. So
It looks like it's a deep rabbit hole.
it's still growing. So yeah.
When did you get the Subaru?
So I've had the car since August of 2018. Yeah. So
Oh, wow. So it's fairly recent.
yeah, we already have we're running on 47,000 miles on it.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, right now we're commuting from Redlands to about Huntington Beach.
What?
So going remote is a great thing for you.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Bet, man.
So we're in the studio here, and I brought up pictures of your rig, and so going back to August of 2018, you're saying you got this specifically to be like a commuter vehicle.
100% commuter vehicle. As I remember the night I got it, I discovered Mountain Brew, which is Mountain Subaru, like just put together into one.
Okay.
And it's this like community of off-road Subarus. And I just, again, went into this rabbit hole, and you could kind of see, I didn't start the page until December of 2018, which is that first picture.
Yeah, and you look at that point, it's still stock. Like you look at it in December, and it's still stock, and you're already in the snow.
Yeah, that trail right there is 3N16.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it was deep that day, but
So how long did you have it before you took it on dirt / snow?
I took it out the first week I had it.
No, had you taken the Tacoma out before that?
No, this was the first. I mean, so I grew up going to Glamis. You know, I grew up like off-roading and quads and UTVs, etc. But I mean, this overland idea or off-road idea wasn't until I kind of discovered this. And being that I live in Redlands, I was like, oh, I could go after work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
You're right there at the base of the hill.
So it was super easy just to get out there. Definitely.
So you get the Subaru, you go get a little bit of experience on some dirt. What was the first mod?
First mod was the roof rack. I mean, if you could even call it that. I mean, the
basket.
Basket, yeah. Yeah, roof rack. There wasn't really a lot of like things. I ran the car stock, like with stock all-weather tires for the first like 8 months, almost a year. Never popped anything. I mean, Matt's told me about this. He's like, that means you didn't drive it hard enough. I mean,
So, right?
but I mean, you could see like Joshua Tree. We did Mammoth. We did a bunch of things with the car stock.
I see a picture that right there of some rocks in the background. It ain't on those rocks. Like,
But he went out to the rocks.
right. Well, yeah.
He went out to the rocks. And you know, we've always been a like an all-inclusive, get a vehicle that's got some wheels on it and go out and have some fun. Find some dirt, have some fun, right? And this is a perfect example of you bought a vehicle intending it to be a commuter, realized it could take you so many more places, and you just kind of embraced it and ran with it.
Yeah, and I think that's what's happening in the community, like in general, is like at Adventure Expo. I don't know if you guys saw this. Like when people went to go look at the car, they were like, "Wait, my grandma has this car."
Yes,
like I have this car. Like
Yeah.
So
I fully believe that most people driving any vehicle don't have any idea the potential that vehicle has. Like people that drive the grocery getter Suburbans or something.
Yeah.
Man, get that thing out there. Go have some fun. You know, there's a lot of vehicles out there that people wouldn't ever try to put it on dirt road just out of fear or uncertainty or not knowing. And you kind of just tackled it. I mean, what was the inspiration for that? What made you get out and do that?
I think I honestly think like I saw a lot of accounts, and I mean like if I had the money, I would have bought a Tacoma. Like, let's just be honest.
Or a Ranger.
A Tacoma. So yeah. So I mean the Ranger's in second place, but anyway.
That Ranger is never in second place, sir. That Tacoma can't keep up with me.
Give it time. it'll be seeing some tailgate action.
Says the guy with the Frontier. So, no, but you know, I mean, the cost wise, I went with it. But what was your question again?
Just like what inspired you to go from a commuter to the next level of taking it off road and doing stuff with it?
I mean, seeing these accounts like on Instagram, the Overland community, you know, and like being like, "Whoa, what the heck? That's freaking dope!" Like, is that a tent on top of your car? You know, like first seeing that like in August, September timeframe of 2018, I was like, "This is cool." And then I mean, I was like, you know, like let me start an Instagram, like just kind of document my stuff. and then it just spiraled
Yeah, it
out of
just blew
control.
up.
And I mean, we've had so much support from so many companies, like just trying to promote Subaru and like this picture here, like these Milestars, like Milestar is growing like crazy, right? As you guys have seen, like, and it's
We were just talking about how they kind of in the last 6 months to a year just connected with a bunch of people that are considered influencers, put their products on their vehicles, and they're really starting to become a name.
yeah. I mean, you see at Adventure Expo, we had Rad Trail Recon, we had Marco with Overland X. That like it was a super cool booth, you know, and like so. I mean, there's the car's growing like crazy in the community in itself. So I think I was just like. I was part of the movement that everyone's going in, you know, like I was like, okay, I can do this too. And people love the content so far. So
is your car, is it full-time all-wheel drive, or can you switch like just a two-wheel drive ever or anything like that?
yeah, so the car has the technology is called symmetrical all-wheel drive. So it's pretty much 4 high at all times.
Okay.
That's what, in layman's terms, what I put it into. So you can't switch off your all-wheel drive. It's always going. What you can do is there's this mode called like X mode, so it allows you to put in more torque into a certain wheel when needed, but it's all electrical. You know, it's not like a low transfer case where you're able to put it into 4 low and do all that. It's just like an electrical thing that could fail easier, but.
Well, I mean, everybody's going that direction now. I mean, you look at all the Jeeps, the Trailhawks with the all the different crawl control stuff on Toyotas, my terrain management stuff on the Ranger. It's all going electrical. You know, the older all-wheel drive in the Grand Cherokees, like the one that I had, was mechanical in that, you know, it had whatever the mechanism inside that would send the power to whichever wheel it needed. That's all being replaced by sensors and electronics and stuff. So I don't think there's anything. The only way to get away from that is get a vehicle that's 20 years old. You know what I mean? Drive something from 1994.
Why'd you point at Jose?
Drive something from
You pointed
1994
right at him.
with the Foot Club.
But
Does it come with the foot club?
Did you because you weren't there when we had the
No,
Foot Club.
Just
I
keeping
heard
it
about it.
period correct.
Yeah, the Foot Club. On if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to episode 115.
Oh man.
So I mean, even that being said, the car has never failed me. Like I've been in stuff like where like again, like you're on a trail and a Ranger drives by and they're like, "What is that Subaru doing on here?" You know, like, and I'm sure I probably saw you guys on a trail before, and they're like, "What is that guy doing in here?"
Pilot Rock Road last year.
Yeah.
Last year, Pilot Rock Road. This is like
After heavy rains.
heavy rains. We went up there. There was rain and snow and mud. It was my wife almost divorced me on this trail, like literally while we were on the trail.
Have you seen that picture of us three like looking into like the
Yeah,
mountain?
it's always like an optimistic like.
Yes, so-
the photo implies like something.
I've never told this story.
So
but
the
it is
backstory-
not. It's what we were talking about is I'm about to get divorced.
Yeah, Cody was like, dude.
So
Cody-
Pissed off.
Tammy was super mad because the trail was horrible, and I was like, "It'll get better right over this hill." Right, I legitimately believed, based on my memory, that there was a part that flattened out and it was a nice, easy trail.
Yeah.
We just never got to it, and we got to a point where it was like what Tammy considers to be cliffs of doom and mud and everything. Matt had to tell me to turn around. He's like, "No, dude, we're not doing
Can't do
this."
it. I'm not doing it.
and
I
so-
had my boys in the back seat.
And at
dude.
one point we
And I'm like,
stopped.
I'm going to roll off this cliff.
At one point, we stopped and we walked over to the edge of the trail, and everybody was parked over here. And Tammy took a picture of us, and we're standing there looking out over the trail, like just having a conversation about which direction we're going. And I'm literally there with my arms folded. I'm like, "Guys,
we have to get off this mountain.
I totally
ASAP.
screwed up," and she's
is
pissed. I may need to sleep at your house tonight. But the picture, every time I post it, it says the caption is, "I'm not certain where we're going, but I'm confident we're going to get there."
It's always like some
like
positive
positive.
connotation. You know?
But did you get there? Like,
We did. We ended up getting back, but the backstory
He's
of
still
that
married.
picture, the
Yeah,
backstory of that picture is, man, my wife was it legitimately so. Like
Every
it was a
time I
horrible
see
trip.
that photo, I laugh. Like,
Me too. Yeah.
it's so funny.
yeah, Pilot Rock is a like Subarus love Pilot Rock.
Well, because it's normally a really fun trail.
It is, and funny story about Pilot Rock. That was the first time I turned around too. It was like after a heavy rain season. I think it was last year.
Yeah.
And I still had the all weathers on, and there was a section where it was all ice, and I was just slipping down, slipping down. And I was like, and my fiance was in the car, and she was like, "We're turning around." I didn't take a picture looking into the distance.
Next time.
So for everybody out there,
Do
that's
I-
like when you're getting yelled at from somebody in the passenger
yeah.
seat, go stand and look off in the distance,
Yeah.
all pointed
And have
like
someone
you're
take a
over.
picture.
Yes.
over a cliff, black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wear your nice sweatpants, and then take a photo.
Oh man. So you start going out on the trail with the all weather. You spent the first 9 months. When did you really start to see the traction of not only the page, the Instagram page, but like the products and the companies that were reaching out to you?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest turnarounds for me was when I put the Prinsu rack on there.
Okay.
So Prinsu /CBI Off-Road out of Idaho.
Yep.
They reached out to me and they said, "Hey, we have this new Prinsu rack. And that was actually the first picture there. We would like you to throw it on your car and give us feedback on it, etc." And I mean, the page from there went from I think in 2 weeks it went from, in 2 weeks it went from 1,000 something to 3,000 upwards.
Wow.
So and you could start seeing the change in my content. I started pushing a little harder and I started to enjoy it. But my biggest thing behind all of this was I'm just gonna post it because I want to. You know, I'm not doing it for the sponsors. I'm not doing it for anyone. That just comes with the.
That was all just a byproduct of you posting pictures.
Well, and so this is going to sound kind of negative, but if you look out on the landscape of the off-road overland community right now, there is 50 Tacomas to every one. There's 50 Jeeps to every 20 Tacomas to every X amount of. There's 3 Subarus. You know what I mean? Yeah, so from a manufacturer's perspective, if you have a product that will work on a Subaru, wheels, tires, racks, lights, all that stuff, why not go, hey, check this guy out. Look what he's doing. If you can also do this. Did you just sneeze in my studio?
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Am I exiled from here now?
At end of the show.
That's it, dude.
Show is over. Jose just
all of a sudden I'm not here anymore.
Yeah. Beep. No. But back to my point. It's a way to say, hey, look, we're doing it too, and we're doing it very well, and people are engaged and enjoying it. I mean, that's. So you start with the Prinsu rack, then what happened?
Then, I mean, it's grown so fast. I mean, if you scroll down a little bit, if you go to that first picture with that one there, I mean, that was if you click on it, that was in when? October of 2019. We're in March of 2019. That's how fast it doesn't look the same anymore.
Yeah, because now you've got the Prinsu rack, you've got the awning, you've got
that rear bump, the rear tire
carrier, you've got the storage system in back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. So from there, I mean, it spiraled. I mean, obviously I had the awning on before, but the Prinsu rack gave me so much more versatility to just okay, I could just throw this on now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have to make my own bracket to put on this awning. I don't have to do this. I just put it on. That was the first picture with the Rome tent, which
we're looking at a picture of his Instagram in the studio here with the Subaru out in the middle of the desert. Do you know where this is at?
Do you know where this is?
It looks like Johnson Valley.
That's where we camped.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and so what I did, you guys all left.
Yeah,
I stayed the day.
Oh, did you?
Waited for the sunset, took all those pictures.
Oh, that's a really cool. Yeah, so that's Johnson Valley with the tent all set up and the awning out and the chair. I mean, that is a full on. Overlander's dream right there.
Overland AF.
Yeah, Olaf.
Look at the caption.
Hashtag
the actual caption, I think, is Overland, period.
Yeah. And you're doing it in the Subaru. I mean, that goes back to just, if you've got something with a transfer case, whether it's all time or not, get out there and do it. I mean, what has been
this doesn't even have a transfer case.
Well, I'm saying it's got all-wheel drive of some sort. What's been your favorite part about the Subaru?
I think going back, I could commute it every day, still get my MPG, and then I could take it out on the road. So right now, the setup you see right now, I run this every day, and I get 21 MPG
with the tent, and the awning, and the rack, and the spare tire carrier,
lift, everything. I run that every day from Redlands to Huntington Beach. I get 21. Dang. So that, at Adventure Expo, they were like, "What? 21? I didn't even get that stock." You know.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, my Ranger said it was, quote, 22 highway.
Yeah.
No, it was never 22 highway. I don't.
Those numbers are a little skewed.
There's window stickers of my truck when they were brand new. It's 14 was the highest.
Because they didn't care.
No.
They didn't care.
It was 11 city, 14 highway.
And now it's 7.
It's 8.
So tell us about some of the gear. So
how long does it take for you to set up and put away your tent?
My tent?
That's what I was
just throw it open?
Yeah.
whatever. Like you're camping.
What has been your experience with the rooftop tent? Because we're all like,
we're all over the map right now.
Okay, so I mean, first off, they're cool, but they're like, I was like apprehensive, like, do I need this? Do I not need this? But when I got it, I was like, okay, this is easier than I thought. The first time you put something on, right, you're like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Right? I've opened it now, like, say 10 times, and my fiance and I open it in like 30, 45 seconds. We just literally pop it open, we put in our steaks, and we're good to go. Like,
what is the breakdown like on that kind of?
The breakdown is different.
Yeah, because you gotta keep stuffing it in and folding and stuffing, and
so it's
like making a burrito.
Yeah, we leave like a blanket.
That's like me putting my pants on in the morning.
Just lay down, suck it in,
stuff it in, zip it up, repeat.
Yeah, that becomes
how many
like
zippers do I have? Sorry.
We're still talking about tents, or
I don't know.
What did this become?
Yes.
Yeah, it becomes.
You don't know what I wear?
pitching tents?
Okay, so let's get back to Andre.
Sorry. Andre.
So talk about the breakdown. Like how hard is it to put that all back together?
The biggest thing is like obviously it's easy to fold and unfold it. The hard part is putting the cover on because again you have to stuff and unstuff. So we're going it like once we fold it, it's like okay, you lift it up, pack it in a little bit. Now let's put the cover on.
Yeah.
Hold the cover down here, like zip it, like. It's obviously it's easy, but at the same time, like everything has its quirks.
Rooftop tent manufacturers, I'm going to give this to you for free. All right, this is the next big thing. Just hashtag I own it. Right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, hashtag I said
I said it
hashtag
first.
me, hashtag I said it, hashtag whatever it is.
I came up with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine you know how when you
got to go hashtag I said,
me, hashtag I said this, hashtag I own it, hashtag you can't have this.
Not hashtag me too.
And now hashtag and now hashtag say what it
hashtag
is.
this is my idea. You know how when you're like the air mattress, you got the battery operated inflator. You can turn it around and make it a battery operated deflator. So imagine a rooftop tent with a deflator. Like you hit a button and it sucks the tent walls in as it's closing down, and it almost vacuum seals the thing into the thing. So it's all like
It's kind of like the shift pod, right? That we saw at King of the Hammers. Like
how it just collapses by itself. Come on, someone could do that.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody wants to do that. Nobody cares.
I'm just saying it.
Listen, you can have that one. You didn't even have to hashtag that one.
Yeah, that was. I'm never gonna get that time back.
What a waste of a hashtag. You just wasted hashtag whatever that was.
Yeah, the other thing is like this obviously is a soft shell, so it's like a PVC cover. So they make the hard shell ones that are like unlock it, put it up.
Yeah.
You know, so like you pay a premium for that.
Yeah. That's the thing. You pay like twice as much for that.
Just to have that. But I mean, I've gotten so used to it now. Like I know exactly like, okay, this corner, like you have to do this.
Yeah. Okay, well, what if you did this then? Sorry. I'm just having some ideas. Hashtag I said this. So imagine before you get out of your tent, you're going to break it down. So before you get out, you stretch a bungee cord across the inside and the middle, hook it to either side, and then so the bungee cord pulls tension, and then as you start to break it down, it pulls it in automatically for you.
So they have like some little ones in there,
right?
Yeah, but then you got those like metal buckles inside.
No, you could use the
sucked in.
You could use the plastic clips. I'm just trying to make it better.
Trying to make it easier.
All right, keep trying.
But you're saying you get used to it really easy, and it's
yeah. This one now is like, I mean, it's the perfect size for our Subaru. So this like Rome Adventure Company has Vagabond Light, Vagabond, and Vagabond XL. The Light is made for two people comfortably. So like I still have space on the roof rack with the tent on, in front. Like, and I'm able to put. I designed a diesel heater for it, so I'm able to put my diesel heater in front and like
diesel heater.
Yeah, so I'm working on a video for it.
Like a diesel powered heater.
So yeah, it runs off diesel combustion, and it's a heat exchanger that takes in cold air and makes it into hot air. And then the combustion just heats the air so you don't get any carbon monoxide.
For inside your tent?
Inside my tent. And I made it with like...
Wait a minute. What
does not compute.
Because I'm not putting diesel fuel in my tent.
So, again, I'm making the video. But there's a diesel tank, right? Like,
what was your IQ before you did this?
What'd you start at?
Hold on. Wait a minute. What? Something about diesel... I'm sorry. I was texting or I was Instagramming people, so I wasn't really paying attention. You put diesel fuel inside the tent.
No, dude. It's
So
it's a diesel powered heater.
So you know how you have, like there's the buddy heaters that run off propane?
Yeah.
yes.
This is a different idea where like you're using diesel to create combustion. And
okay.
So you have a Cummins engine in the tent with you that
No, all you put into the tent is a pipe of hot air. And then we have temperature control. So we're able to set it to the
He
temperature
is an
we want.
engineer, so it's probably like a brilliant
true.
No,
idea.
you could just buy the kit on Amazon.
he's like, me being an engineer has nothing to do with this. It was on
Hold on.
Amazon.
Hold on.
1 day deal.
What was that you said? Let me write this down. I've been sleeping with propane heaters too long.
So there's a guy on YouTube and Instagram called Revere Overland.
Okay.
And he had shown a story of like someone put a buddy heater in their tent, a CVT tent, to like warm it up, before they went to sleep, and it caught on fire. And so he was like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with like burning my tent down and propane like condensating this." So he found this. It's on Amazon. It's called Chinese diesel heater, and you literally buy the kit and you throw it in. It's that easy.
I'm still not on board, man. I'm gonna let you do it.
Yeah, I mean, how
No,
about,
I've
like,
already done it. Like,
isn't it? How do you
look
fall,
at us.
how do you
up
fall
Amazon.
asleep with clackety, 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 clackety all the time?
no,
It's gonna give you the best night's sleep ever, but you're just never gonna wake up.
Never wake up.
You know what?
okay.
I'm pretty tired.
Now that we're in self quarantine, I'm gonna make this video tomorrow.
Chinese
There you
diesel
go.
heater.
So you could see the little two.
Wait.
I don't.
It's
It's
called
gonna
that-
be shipped. It's Chinese. It's gonna be
called-
shipped with coronavirus.
It's called the Happy Buy. That's from China. Huh?
They work. Though. They work.
No.
So I mean, it comes with the whole kit. So what it is like if you see the two pipes coming out the bottom,
Yeah.
that's your combustion in and out, and then the two on the side is your cold air in and hot air out. So all that goes into the tent is one. That side right there is all that goes into the tent. So you just get hot air.
So just the gas, just the diesel fumes into the tent. That's it. Just the
Breathe
the
deep,
death
baby.
gas. That's it.
Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
honest. The first night I tried it, I didn't sleep too well. Right? I kept checking.
Checking your pulse. Am I alive?
I kept breathing. So
Is
the
this a
next
good
step,
place?
I got to buy a carbon monoxide monitor and put it in.
So, or you want to make it easy? Back the Subaru up to the tent and just put a hose
just run
out of
it.
the
Yeah.
exhaust pipe into the.
So before I did this whole thing, I put on Instagram. I don't know if you guys saw it. I said rooftop tent heating like ideas, and someone said, "Oh, just duct tape a PVC pipe to the exhaust." But I mean, they're used like in vans. A lot of like Westphalia Volkswagens use them. A lot of RV guys use them, so it's retrofitted in. But
Okay,
right,
so
dude.
how well does it work?
it got too hot in the
I was
tent.
gonna say it probably works too well, dude.
Yeah, no, it was like overkill. Like I had to turn it off.
Wow.
So I left it running for 5 minutes. It heated up and everything, and then I turned it off and I slept the whole night.
Well, we ran the buddy heater in the King of Hammers. That thing worked like the one buddy heater.
it worked great.
Yeah, it worked great.
But it was just
The only heater buddy I had was Joe in that tent.
So do you guys remember how they had the shift pod like home in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all heated with these.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
really?
Yeah, that's why it had the vents on the side.
They were probably cooking in there, dude.
Oh yeah.
Well, they had like 6 of those pods
That's-
together,
that's
so it
true.
might have been a little.
Which I love those things. Those things are cool.
So you've used this once
I've used it once and I have no complaints so far.
so far.
So
Okay.
far. But
I'll wait and watch your video when it comes out, and then decide if I'm going to put a diesel generator in my tent.
okay, all right. Yeah, but no. Again, Revere Overland. He's done in-depth review. He's like done a lot of like safety precautions, and it's worked fine for him so far. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well,
All right. No, hey, look, the one thing I hate sleeping on the ground. I hate being cold. That's camping. Like, that's pretty. Maybe I hate.
Maybe you hate going outside.
Maybe I hate camping. Maybe that's it. But I don't know. That seems like
well, we were
viable. How much how much fuel does it take? How much will that? I'm
So
assuming like
it-
a quart.
So
or
there
two
was
of fuel.
there was a guy that like on YouTube, he left it running in an 800 square foot room, And he left it running for 26 hours. That's how long the diesel lasted, and it went from 40 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit in the room. So,
Okay.
this is a 5-watt unit.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's little, you know?
Yeah.
That's
No,
pushing
it's
on,
a big room. It's a good sized room. Here.
It's the size of my house, dude. Literally.
So imagine the tent, you know?
Well, you could heat your house, Jose.
I just need $150 heater. I'm over here wasting a natural.
and a CO2 sensor,
Oh,
a carbon monoxide sensor.
yeah.
But one of the things, was it at Expo? I think we were talking about at Expo. Couldn't you also use a 110 volt battery inverter and plug in an electric blanket?
Yeah, easily.
Like rather than running a diesel, I mean, how would that work?
I mean, you could run it off a dual battery setup.
Yeah, if you had a dual battery setup.
No, what about Matt's super CPAP machine? Like the super CPAP power pack. Who say that again twice?
Yeah, I know.
CPAP power pack.
I'm more worried about my CPAP running out. I'll be cold a little bit, you know.
But you had, let's say you had 2 of those, and let's say you didn't have a CPAP, you're a normal person, and you had one of those power packs. You could plug in an electric blanket and use the electric blanket in your rooftop tent, right? How long do you think that would last on that battery pack?
I don't know.
We should test that.
Nope.
You mean like one of those goals?
Okay, next time we're camping, we're going to unplug Matt's CPAP in the middle of the night.
Just for a couple hours, dude.
Yeah, well, it's your death wish. Go ahead. You want to see me really pissed off? Mess with me while I'm sleeping.
Oh, I know. You went home early because you couldn't have your CPAP on the New Year's trip. So what other? I see you got the Rome tent. We talked about that.
Yeah.
You got the. You upgraded your wheels and tires.
Yeah, that was the first like big mod, if you want to call it.
So in order to get the wheels and tires, though, you had to lift it.
So I ran that setup with no lift for
did you?
about like 2 months. Short. We needed to save up a little bit more funds, you know. So those are 235s. So they come out to about like 29 and a half.
Okay.
Close to 30s. You can't fit a 30 on there. But yeah, so I ran it with no lift. Then I put a Rallytech 1-inch lift spring. All it is like throw a spring on the OEM strut and you're good to go.
Okay.
I didn't want to put a spacer on there. Like it's just, I don't think it's structurally good, in my opinion.
Okay.
But, the springs have done well for me. So we put that on there, and then obviously the Prinsu rack went on there. Then I need a spare, right? So I had it on the rack for a little bit, but then Rome helped me out with the tent. So then I was like, I need to put it in the back of the car. Then OSS was like, oh, here's a cabinet system. So then I was like, okay, now I need to buy a bumper.
Everybody's trying to get my spare tire out of the car.
So I got a good deal on this custom fab from Stellar Built, and I threw it on there. So
That thing looks awesome.
Yeah,
No, it looks great.
So yeah, seriously, this the way you have it set. Like, picture a Subaru driving to work in the morning, and then this is a total adventure vehicle. Like, you look at this and go, you know, that's not just a Subaru.
You're ready for zombies.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
I know
it's a
that.
full-on zombie.
right now with this whole thing, I'm like, I'm ready to go.
That's
Or
okay.
viruses.
Because Matt and I just had a conversation Friday night. And we're like, dude, we're not ready to go. Like,
We're
what,
doomed.
What are we gonna do?
We're doing actually. Me and Jose had a conversation about you either get up into the high desert first, and join the Mad Max people, or they cut you off, and then Mad Max people come down here and grab you, and you become
One of their workers.
you become combatants in the Thunderdome. So
They're going to go another direction. Like some sort of slave.
no, I went with the PG combatants in the Thunderdome. Jose, what's wrong with you?
Is there a big bear contingency up in the high desert?
You're horrible.
Talk about so you got the lift, the wheels, tires.
Yeah.
Talk about the storage system, because that storage system, I got to see a little bit of it at the expo. What's the deal with that? Like,
So the storage system is built by Overland Storage Systems out of Corona, California.
okay,
They're actually right next door to Lightner Designs
Okay.
and Trigger.
Okay.
Like they're all in the same area. So it's all hand milled in the U.S. What I did was I took it in. They measured everything for an hour. Came back the next week and they dropped it in.
no kidding.
I mean,
Wow.
what they do is they do cabinetry for like hospitals and nursing homes.
Oh, okay.
So it was really easy for them to just turn around and like go into this market. So it's kind of offspring of it. Right now we have just a 2-drawer unit. You're able to pull out 2 drawers. The next step is if you see the little drawer on the right side, that'll become an actual cooktop and cutting board pull out.
okay.
and then I'm gonna stack some other more. It's a super modular system, so all they do is like they'll build the base plate for whatever vehicle you have in the back, and then they'll drop in the new one. So yeah, they already have, as you can see, that's my car, but then they have the JK done, JKU. They're getting 4Runner, and then Subaru, and they're expanding into.
Do they need a Land Cruiser for R&D?
How is it mounted into the back of the rig?
So it's actually a no drill system. It goes into the OEM holes like from factory. When I kind of identified those holes for them before, and then we use some tethers to put in, and it holds beautifully. So I've been running it. What was that? Since 2 weeks ago, for the Friday before Adventure Expo. They like came to my work at lunch and they installed it. They're super cool guys. I mean, it's a father and a son. So, and they literally threw it in. We bolted it up, and people loved it at Adventure Expo. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, it's super clean. I mean, you go back to looking at this Subaru, and everybody, initial response on a Subaru is, "Oh, it's a great commuter car, right?"
Yeah.
But you've got it dialed in to a point where like it looks and seems to function way better than anybody would give it credit for at first glance at the Subaru dealership.
Well, when we were at the Milestar booth, Martin Castro, I don't know if you guys know who Martin is. He works for Milestar. So
okay.
He's the person that invited me out. So I was pulling stuff out of the car. I was pulling out my Canyon 64 liter cooler and like my table, like everything. And he comes over and he's like, "Where are you pulling this out of?" And it's like, I was talking to him about it. I'm like, I've used the car so much, I know exactly where everything
Tetris,
needs to go. Yeah. And the other cool thing is, if you see how the system has like a little riser under it, there's actually a false bottom. So you're actually able to access the whole spare tire unit.
Oh, really?
And you're able to. I
so
took
you can
my
have
spare
storage
tire,
in there.
Yeah, and so I like have like drills, I have recovery rope, all that. The next system, they're gonna put hinges on it, and the whole system will come up, and then you can pull out your spare. So
wow, that's super clean. That's super clean.
And the guy owns a Frontier, man.
What?
So if you see this like mole panel that they have here, that's all on a Frontier. That's the back of a Frontier right there.
Oh yeah, Molly panel, yeah.
Yeah.
Or mole, or mole's chicken.
Mole.
Mole.
Yeah, that's
Mole's like a chicken panel.
Yeah.
That's like
Mole,
sauce
mole,
based on
mole.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's chocolate sauce.
So there, it's overland storage
Yeah,
systems.
I know about that
Yeah.
stuff.
All right.
Look at me. Of course I know about that.
I'm always looking at you, man.
Overlandstorage.com. You can check out what we're talking about. But yeah, it looks like they've got a lot of cool stuff, and they're also
They're very patriotic.
overland underscore
Giant flag
storage
on their
system.
webpage.
Yeah, and I mean the system, it just works. That's the easiest way to put it, is that when they built it, they designed it with like a user feedback on the car and like, hey, I want to keep this, and this, and they delivered on everything.
Wow.
What I like about it looks like they kept it simple.
Yeah.
It works. It's just clean. Like he's like I'm just saying, it just works.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So then after beyond that, talk to me about that spare tire carrier.
So the spare tire carrier, I actually got it used, even though it's a custom fab bumper. I got it from a friend called, his Instagram's Alex Trek, or now it's Alex Foes XT. He was gracious enough to allow me to get it off of him. So it was hand built in Sacramento by Stellar Built. So I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
I've heard
Yeah.
the name.
Yeah, they do their big market is like obviously Toyotas and Jeeps and everything, but they made this for him, and now I threw it on mine. So I actually have the front one too, but I'm still we talked about this, man. I don't know if you remember. I'm scared to cut the front bumper, you know.
Bring it over here. We'll do it.
Yeah. Well, I
We
mean,
have
it's
a
like
sawzall with old blades.
Sawzall. We got two pneumatic die cutters.
We don't have any batteries that
We have
work
one
this
battery
awesome.
that work all
one
those
working
tools.
battery.
Well, it's like Matt, you guys said the other day on the podcast. Yeah, you want a snorkel? I'll build it for you.
I'll put it right
Yeah, dude.
together. I'll just let me go to Home Depot and I'll get some go through the plumbing aisle.
Yeah,
And
and
some vent pipe. Duct
Well, I mean,
tape.
and it's really hard looking
Sheet
at that
metal screws?
Subaru. It's really
Duct
hard
seal?
to.
Strap.
It's really hard.
Nope.
It's really hard to look. You look at the front of the Subaru. It's so.
I could have kept going.
I know you could. It's really clean and well put together. Like the
Yeah.
idea of cutting the bottom portion of that bumper would really change the way it looked. You'd have to really because everything's so integrated. Whereas most trucks, the bumper is a separate piece. This is like integrated into everything. It'd be hard to replace that.
Yeah, and I was actually talking to your brother because he was like, "Yeah, I do
What are you
fabric
talking
and
to him
everything."
for?
Oh, don't let him do it. No, I'm kidding.
And I was like, "Yeah, I was like, I have it already. I just need someone that'll come the plastic." He's like, "Hell yeah, bring it over.
In case
I'll
you-
do that."
Cut it all day long. Cut it
Yeah.
all day. Because what, you have to cut it from the seam down over to here like this to keep part of that. Of that.
So it'll go under the grill, but you'll cut off the whole fog light. That whole bottom plastic is going off.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
No,
Matter of fact, you're here, right? I mean, you brought the Subaru. We'll do it after the show.
I just don't have the metal bumper.
Yeah, no
right
worries.
now.
We'll cut it. We'll guesstimate.
We'll worry about that later, dude.
Yeah.
Just cut it right now.
Guesstimate. So that we I think we've covered the rig. I mean, this is a super cool rig. I really like it.
I wanted to ask him. Sorry, dude. I wanted to ask you about. Do you have one of those Torx lockers in it yet?
No, I don't.
Oh, you can put a locker in this
Yeah,
thing?
So sorry, dude. So like my locker, they have a mechanical one for the Subarus too.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's straight up locker. Like you literally put it in your diff.
No kidding.
I've heard really good things about them, and I've seen videos, and like people are like just going like.
Yeah, so I have a Spartan locker. It's like it's the same thing, but just different company for my application. But I don't even notice it's back there. Only when you're turning, you hear the gears ratchet, like it disengages, and it's like you
tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
But other than that, dude, like it hasn't changed the driving dynamic at all, which I was really surprised. But I'm just wondering if you are you planning on putting one of those in?
I hadn't, but
No, he's gonna upgrade to a Ranger soon.
yeah, I actually went to the Ford dealer the other day.
Yes.
I'm
Why?
dead serious.
Don't do it. Dude.
I went to go look, and
Don't do it, dude.
I pulled up with the car, and the guy looked at me, and he walked away. Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, we're not selling you a Ranger." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Come on, dude. I'll go with you. We'll go pick a nice one out. It's got to be white though. So look, again, the rig is awesome. I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about the content. Like you, going back to what you were saying, you started this page in December of last year, 2018. And, it was just kind of a thing, and it's grown from there. And you could really, if you look at like your early pictures, you can tell that your content has evolved. Like, what's that been like? What's just not only the pictures, but the videos? And talk to me about how you changed your approach to the use of Instagram.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I started like I always get DMs and people are like, "What camera do I buy? Like what? Like how much did you pay?" Like this? And I was like, I paid like $200 at a pawn shop for a Canon SL1, which is like made in 2008. Like, and every picture until like a picture that I have at a Sousa OHV, every picture was shot on my SL1. The majority of my content was shot on a crop sensor camera, right? And I literally had no idea how to edit. I just literally took pictures, got Adobe Photoshop, and I just started messing with it and I threw it up there. And you learn.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you know what? Oh,
Did you Photoshop your rig onto these trails? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Yes.
Is it? Hold on.
He's taking all the pictures are taken in the
Hold
parking
on.
structure.
As soon as I heard Photoshop, I went, hold on now.
So we camera raw editor inside of Photoshop.
All right.
But
And you don't even have to get Adobe. There's
Is that real snow?
yeah, now
I don't
your
know.
iPhone
Your
does
iPhone.
everything.
And there's a free software called GIMP, GIMP, GIMP. That's essentially the open source version of Photoshop.
Yeah.
There's a open source Inkscape is another one that's an Illustrator that you can use to do vector graphics.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy a camera, like you said. It doesn't have to be a brand new expensive camera, and use free software. Raw Therapy is another one. Raw Therapy is another open source software that you can use to do photo editing.
Yeah, and my biggest thing is just shooting raw, right? I mean,
Shooting raw, huh?
yeah, shooting raw is the way to go, definitely.
Never doubt. Just obviously shooting. I can't. I don't know.
But like you see so if you I don't know what I was doing for like the first 7 months, but I really liked blue for some reason. So if you go down, like a lot of my pictures have this blue tone in them. And like I was talking about this to my fiance the other day, and I was like, I don't know what was up with blue. Like
It looks
in
good.
2019,
It looks good.
It's
like
working.
Yeah.
and it was like and then I said, you know what? Okay, well I want to start incorporating more of like an orange vibe, and
Yeah.
like and you start messing with it and like
I have never once taken a picture and thought, what color vibe is this? What color? I don't.
And that's why nobody follows us on Instagram. Like we have
this picture of Matt. That's kind of a mustard yellow vibe, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. How did you even
just have to
recognize
try.
that?
First of all, I'm not a mustard yellow vibe guy.
You're a hot dog broth.
I'm a hot dog broth guy.
the biggest thing was just I just did it. Like, and I learned so much from that process. Like now I just take my camera and snap a picture and I keep going. It's just
what kind of camera do you have now? Is it the same Canon?
So I use a 5D Mark II now.
Oh, okay.
Which again, that's like a 10, 12-year-old camera.
It's an older camera.
Is it?
But it's still like it's a workhorse. Like people like think I shoot on the newest thing. I'm like, no. I just
for social media postings, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. You two both know more about cameras than I do. But when you look at the resolution of an Instagram post, once you get above the iPhone level or a 5-year-old cell phone at this point, once you get past that level, you're not getting any more return on your investment. I mean, you can have $1,000 camera for social media stuff. I think that it's compressed enough to where you're not going to notice. The difference is when you want to start using those same pictures outside of Instagram, on your webpage, on stuff like that. Yeah. Whereas I think if someone just wants to have a good Instagram page, just get a good cell phone or a good, like you said, a used DSLR camera and go from there.
You don't need a crazy lens. Just use the kit lens. Like, you'll be fine.
What if you owned a Ford and you just wanted to do whatever you could?
You want to make it look like a Tacoma?
To make it look better.
What kind of camera do you need to make it look like a Tacoma?
Maybe there's got to be an app or something you can apply.
The app's called the Tacominator.
No,
convert any vehicle to a Tacoma.
What's crazy is that these cell phone cameras are getting so good because like computational photography is a thing now. Mm. So there's like all this AI software that our companies are producing that. I think soon enough, the professional camera market, I think it's going to go away to where I think the phone is going to be the next professional camera.
Well, people are creating, and I know it's part of it is just a media stunt, quotation marks, where like Apple has produced entire movies on an iPhone. Slow motion effects, the whole deal, just to demonstrate that you can using.
There's all kinds of movies on the internet produced by cameras on your phone. I don't know. Have you been on the internet? Have you tried?
Maybe not the same place you have. It's totally different.
Name one of the titles you've seen recently.
I can't. I can't. They don't have titles. Oh, God. They just have categories.
Oh, this is
a lot of family content, huh?
This is good. All right, so going back to Instagram.
Sometimes.
You guys are killing me.
You gotta edit that one, dude. That one's gotta get edited.
That was
it's
not
live, dude.
They're not paying attention.
So,
how do you edit from here?
Matt's trying to edit what he just said on his phone. He said, Control-Alt-Delete. Control-Alt-Delete.
Come on, escape.
So the Instagram page, as it's grown, what have you? Because you've gone beyond the photo content, and now you're doing more video. Tell me about that. Tell me about like making that transition into video.
So the pictures were cool, but a picture only tells like one snapshot of your trip.
The rest of the day sucked. That one picture was good.
It's just like the Pilot Rock trip you guys had.
Exactly.
After going to King of the Hammers and like meeting with like Edward Shin and like Down to Mob and like Brad, and you're like, these are just regular guys. Like I can do this too. And like I spent a lot of my time with Edward Shin, and he was like, dude, like just do it, like just try it. So I took the same approaches with the photography, and you guys, the first one was Adventure Expo, and I just started recording myself trying it out, and it worked. I mean, the response has been great on it, and now like this last video, like this happened yesterday, and I edited it for like 2 hours until 2 a.m, and I was like, all right, let's throw it on. Like it was good.
Are you getting like sucked into the minutia of I need to edit? Are you like it's good enough?
No, I'm like, this looks good to me. Cool. And
upload.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like my main thing behind this is that I'm doing it for no one else but me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the main reasons behind the Instagram was like I want to go back and be able to like, oh, I remember when I did that.
Yeah.
I remember. So like now I'm just like I remember when I did Mill Creek the other day. You know, so it was super easy to just kind of get into that and do it. So and a lot of people like the idea behind documenting. You know, like oh, how's this trail? How's that trail? So definitely.
Well, what's next? What are you going to do with the Instagram page, with the rig? What's like, you seem like someone that's constantly like thinking about the next thing. Are you like, I don't want to say obsessed, but like, are you constantly grinding in your head about what you're going to do next?
Yeah. I mean, I get my fiance tells me all the time. She's like, you only think about your Instagram. Like you're just like,
Are you sure you're not talking to our wives?
Yeah. One of the questions that we asked our wives is how tired of you hearing the word podcast? And I guarantee
Well,
you,
nobody knows about what you're talking about.
I know. They'll find out later. They'll find out 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are you like thinking about next rig?
Subaru podcast.
The Subu pod?
yeah. I mean, the community I think has grown. Like every day, I'm getting like new people like starting Instagram, and it's cool. Like people see you can do this, and I mean, I've talked to friends that are like, oh yeah, like a podcast would be cool. Like this would be cool, and we've thought about it. We just never like enacted it, you know, and put it into it. But the next thing I think we're doing a lot of. Or we have a lot of trips planned for the summer. Keyword, we'll see if they keep going on.
I mean, assuming the world is still here,
Yeah.
come summertime.
So we have a lot of like we're doing Mojave Road.
When are you doing that?
Sometime I think later this year when it's not as hot.
Okay.
So October, November timeframe, but we'll see. The car's low. That puddle is huge.
Yeah. Well,
don't do that puddle.
No. You can go around.
Don't do the puddle.
We did it last
we
year.
have I have like 6 maps of Mojave. Like we've done it a bunch of times, and there are routes around that. I'm not knocking the Subaru, but at that height, like he went through it in the Renegade, and it messed up his 4-wheel drive. I went through it in the Tacoma, and it was hood level.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, especially. Well, I don't know if it'd be worse or better.
I think it's gone deeper.
It's coming in the windows.
Yeah, there's
coming in
plenty
the
of ways
windows.
around, so you can cut around it or cut out early before it. I'll share the maps with you, so you don't have to worry about that. But the rest, that thing would be fun on Mojave. You'll have a good time on that.
Yeah, and so I just with the whole video thing, I've been posting, you know, like on Instagram TV, not YouTube, because I mean the people that follow me are on Instagram.
Yeah.
It could be argued like, well, you should expand into YouTube, you know, but
Well, if that's where you're following, I mean, we could make the same argument.
we're
but
struggling with that right now, too.
Yeah,
It's
and it's really hard to manage multiple platforms because even now, I think the last 5-10 episodes we've released, I've had to create. Originally, I was creating a single post for Instagram and then just sharing it on the other platforms. Well, it's not formatted right. It doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
So now I'm creating a formatted post for Instagram, Instagram Stories, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Like I have to create all of those when we release an episode to be formatted correctly, or it doesn't look right. You know, and it's really hard to do all that.
is. And I mean, I've struggled with like photo to like deal with like cropping, and I still suck at it. Like I'm terrible at all that. But like video is another beast in itself.
Oh.
Like it's another world. So
Yeah, I tried. I made a 2-minute video of just like stuff that we've taken. We have hours of video that we never do anything with. So I put together a short little video.
Yeah.
Dude, it took 6 hours to do 2 minutes worth. First of all, because I've never used the program, so I was learning as I went. But it's such a time suck trying to just do a short little video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's just like anything else, like you were saying about you just figure it out once you start taking pictures. I'm sure any of those people that are editing videos now are going to be like, oh, well, once you do this and do that. I tried to make, I don't know if you remember, but a month ago, 2 months ago, I was starting to use, what is it called? Lightworks.
Yeah, you're like, dude,
and I was like, I'm feeling good. I'm
Yeah.
feeling good. Well, I haven't touched it in like 3-4
Yeah.
weeks. I tried to edit a small video the other day, and I was like, "Where's that button? I can't even screw it. I'm not doing it. Like
I'm done
because I'm not doing it every single day. I don't have it's not second nature.
What did Clay say? For every 30 seconds of video is like 3 minutes or 2 minutes of
Something
edit
like that.
time.
Yeah, for every minute of video, it's 3 minutes of post or something.
Yeah.
It sounds about right.
So we have, I don't know, 4 years of post to do.
So we need 20 years.
we need
Hey, well, right now you have time.
Yeah, you have all the time now, dude.
since
working
we got
remote.
nothing to do. So the rig though, what do you think the next mod to the rig is?
Oh, I get asked this all the time, and I say I don't know, and then I think of something at night before I fall asleep. I mean, I've thought of like a wrap would be cool, but I mean, the next big thing is like power. Subarus are like, the Crosstrek again is made for commuting, so it has 152 horsepower, which is
Well, but it's a light vehicle.
It
I mean,
is,
what's
it
the?
is.
It was.
It was before you put everything on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, but I think power to weight ratio versus a Tacoma or Frontier or Ranger or whatever. It's what do you know what that? I'd be interested to know what that horsepower to pound to weight is.
I don't know that, right? But
Are you saying that I should challenge him to drag race after the show today?
No, what I'm saying
Is that what you're doing?
No, what I'm saying is
Let's do it.
If the
down.
Frontier puts out 150 horsepower and it weighs 3,000 pounds, what's the power to weight ratio there? And his puts out X. I guess what I'm getting at is if it's 1 horsepower to every 100 pounds, and his is also 1 horsepower to every pound. It's
what
I don't know. It sounds very complicated. It's something about stickers or something. Like, don't you get more horsepower with more stickers?
Yeah,
you
put some
on,
more stickers
depending
on there.
What you could see, on the side.
depends.
Yeah, you got that's matte power. You got some extra matte power with those stickers.
Everybody knows
I put a
that.
stripe on it. I heard that one's 10 horsepower. So.
Dude, that stripe is clean.
That's like everybody knew when you were a kid and you got some Adidas because you had the stripes on the side, the racing stripes. You ran faster.
No, dude, it was the Pro Wings from Payless.
No, those made you slower.
Do you remember the AstroTurf shoes when that became?
That was the coronavirus of the 80s.
Yeah, as soon as you put on those Pro Wings, people wanted to socially distance themselves.
Yeah.
I was a Pro Wing kid, dude.
So you didn't have a lot of friends.
No, didn't have a lot of friends.
That explains it.
That explains a lot.
We also got some clothes at Kmart. And you remember you seen a friend at
blue light specials.
Oh, that's right. We had that conversation.
Yep.
But I mean, how would you increase power on that? I mean, what options do you have?
There's companies in Thailand and Europe Australia is a big one that makes like turbo kit, like plug and play into the FB20 headers, things like that. But it's an automatic. Yes, it runs on a CVT, so like that's your limitation. I've even thought of putting a CVT cooler onto the transmission because there's a lot of weight on it, and like it's like. I don't know. You drive the 241. I've heard you say before, right?
Oh yeah.
On that huge hill, like when you're like this thing's like.
Oh.
So it's always like you feel it. When I first got the car, though, people were like, "Oh, it's so underpowered," and I was like, "I don't even."
So
it's
what you're
fine to
saying
me.
is the real race is you and Jose.
That's the
And
race.
the cruiser.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
Because I go nowhere real fast. Dude.
You go nowhere all
What
day.
was it? What was it? The other episode we were talking about. Oh, when we were talking about trying to get to McDonald's, and we were like, "You trying to ditch me?"
Yeah.
And we're like, "Nobody's ditching anybody in the Land Cruiser."
No, dude. Good
I
luck.
said he was trying. He was driving erratically.
So you could put a turbo on that.
you could. I mean, funny. Before I had
Do
the
it.
Crosstrek, someone had it. And I was like, does that have a turbo in it? Because I think the stigma behind a Subaru is that there's a turbo
All
in
turbos,
it.
yeah.
WRX, right?
Yeah,
My
Those are-
Ford Ranger has a turbo in it, by the way.
Okay. So
Wow, I'm getting dismissed by the guests.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's like Ranger, da-da-da-da-da, Ranger, da-da-da-da-da, Ranger. Like every 4 sentences.
I
Ranger.
have to get my punches in like when I can because you guys kick me when I'm down.
Well, you'll be getting a Subaru next, probably. That's everybody online is saying.
I tried really. So that Crosstrek, they make that Crosstrek in a really bright orange, like a pumpkin orange.
Yep.
I tried like mad to get Tammy to buy that. I wanted her to buy the Subaru Crosstrek, and she was not having it for like 2-3 months. Every time we'd see one on the road, I'd be like, "Hey, babe, look, there's your car," and she just wouldn't even. I could hear her eyes roll, and then she wouldn't even say anything. Like
She should go to a doctor. That sounds bad.
I could hear her eyes roll from here.
I'm trying to convince Letty to buy it. My dream car in high school was a
Frontier.
WRX STI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've always wanted one of those.
Have you seen? There's a new WRX coming out.
Next year, supposedly.
Have you seen it?
2021.
I've seen the prototype drawing of it.
I thought they debuted it already.
No, not yet. I was going to ask you about that. So the STI has front and rear and center locking differentials.
Yep.
Do they use those, and can you transplant those into the your platform?
So there's a lot of. I know there's a lot. I'm probably going to say something wrong, and everyone's going to like.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
Matter.
We have
nobody's listening to the
Look,
show anyway.
You're already here. I think there may be one other Subaru guy listening.
Oh,
actually,
damn! Look at that, dude.
See, I think that's
Oh,
that's
wow.
I think that's the next generation 2021.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming out next year with an updated power plant.
Look at that thing. That's super nice.
Because they've been using the same EJ25, the motor that's in it now. It's from 2004.
Yeah. Well, and even the Crosstrek's getting a new motor in 2021. It's getting the FB25. So Subaru's just popping right now.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
going
and I mean, outside of the States, when you look at the rally car scene, Australia, I mean, they're huge. They're just as big as any other overland vehicle in a lot of the other states.
They're bigger.
Much
around
larger.
the world. They're like
Much larger.
much bigger in size. Like
He's Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, he takes everything so literally. Like, it went over your head. I'm too fast. Nothing can go over me.
over my head.
But I guess my point, there's a huge global market for the Subaru stuff, which, I mean, you can see why. They're pretty cool. And I think I've told the story about being in Glamis, and there was a sandrail that had a WRX turbocharged WRX motor.
That's a big thing in the sand
Oh,
room.
man, so badass. Like, I love that thing.
I mean, if you look at the Le Virage, that's like they took the STI hatch away from the US, right?
And they have that.
And they still have it in Australia. It's
And I'm a wagon dude. I love wagons.
The wagon was awesome.
The Volvo wagon, the XJ, the original Cherokee, is essentially a four-wheel drive wagon. The Dodge Magnum, it's a wagon. Ruh-roh.
It's a wagon. Room, room.
I do. I've always loved like 5-door hatchback wagons as a style. I'm Griswold. I'm Clark W. Griswold. I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, how long you long term? You're going to keep the Subaru long term, continue to build it, or do you? And I'm being serious. I'm not being sarcastic. Now that you've seen yourself go out and start to adventure, do you think the Subaru will be able to get you everywhere you want to go?
No, that was exactly what I was going to say right now. I've found the limitations in the car.
Okay.
I mean, first off, like the low transfer case, there's things like you just can't do. You can't do Gold Mountain.
Yeah.
Like you can't. And I want to do those things eventually, and like you see like Marco's Overland X, like he has a huge overland setup, and yet he has this flex, he has all that, And so there's that limitation in the car. Like, I'm always going to keep the car. Like, the car was what put me into the scene. Like, and I love it. I'm never going to sell it. But, I mean, I'm not going to never say never, right? But
you have no intention to at this point in time.
Exactly.
But reserve the right.
Yeah. So, but, I mean, like, a Tacoma would be awesome. But, like, the Tundras, like Overland Tundras.
I know a guy that's selling a 2013.
Yeah, 2013, great deal.
Never off-road, all highway miles.
Just put a bumper on it for fun. I heard it has a Trailchaser sticker on it too.
It used to. They're all gone now.
Yeah, so I mean, long term, I mean, I see so many cars like
there's so many awesome platforms now. Like it's kind of hard to pick a bad one. Now.
The Colorados, the ZR2s,
those are awesome,
amazing.
Dude.
So I mean, even Frontier, maybe a Ranger.
So apparently the new next gen Frontier is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be. I mean, and you can't based on everything we've seen with him, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
No.
And there's also the new Tesla truck. Maybe we'll be the first.
You be a Cybertruck guy.
Nice, dude. I'll tear it up in that Cybertruck. I'll take that. I'll take that shit to the moon.
They're cool, but I think like the battery technology, like I think you guys talked about this about the review the other day, like it's just not there yet.
No,
the infrastructure, like the charging part of it,
the charging, the infrastructure. I mean, all that stuff. I think there will come a day where it becomes commonplace.
Yeah, when it's the norm.
But it's kind of a novelty at this point, I think.
Yeah, but we I don't know exactly where we'll be 2 years from now, a year from now. I think. Especially right now in these times.
Yeah.
We're just taking it day by day, so.
Well,
dude, why you got to bring me down, man? The only positive thing was like maybe getting to work from home. No.
Now he's talking about fuel shortages and apocalypse.
That's right.
So on a positive note, let's end it there with our conversation with Andre. The live feed is done. Thank you so much for coming in. Again, we had great conversation with you the last couple of times we hung out. I would love to see you on the trail in that thing and watch you tear that thing up. So we got to plan some trips.
Let's do Pioneer Town.
Mojave, Pioneer Town.
Yeah.
Just not in the snow. Yeah. Jose went up there Saturday looking for snow.
There was not one patch of snow.
Nothing.
Nothing, dude. I had to go, so I did Pioneer Town to Sugarloaf.
Yeah.
And nothing, dude. There was not one patch of snow. I had to go up to Big Bear Lake proper, and there's snow, but it wasn't like it was like just patches of snow.
That's crazy. I would have thought. I mean, as much snow as there was last time we were up there, I would have thought it would have been packed. But so what we'll do is we'll end this portion of the live feed of the interview. We'll take a break, reset. We got some voicemails to go through. Maybe we got a couple other things we can talk about. You're welcome to hang out with us if you want to do that.
That'd be awesome.
Otherwise, I mean, this has been great, and I'm really looking forward to see where you go with the Subaru. And if you're ready to buy a Ranger, just let me know. I'll go shopping with you.
All right, and I thank you guys. Seriously, it means a lot to be invited, and excited for what's to come with everyone and our relationships. So thank you guys.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Of course, Secretariat.
You're listening to a 4x4 Radio Network podcast.
The Trailchasers podcast is a member of the 4x4 Radio Network. If you want more off-road shenanigans in your ear holes, go to 4x4radionetwork.com to hear episodes of the Jeep Talk Show, the 4x4 podcast, the Center Steer podcast, and On the Trail with Kevin and Scott. All right, we're back from our quick break. Andre decided to stay around. That was probably a bad idea. You're going to regret that.
We'll
I'm
soon
certain.
find out.
We're back up on the live feed, and Jose was just finishing up the story about Pioneer Town. So
it had rained.
Well, and so Friday you had texted and said, "I'm going to go.
I want to take my son out to play in the snow."
Yeah. So do you guys want to go? And I didn't want to. I responded and said, "No, I got stuff to do around the house," because I did have stuff to do around the house. What I didn't want to tell you is that I felt like I had coronavirus Friday night. I was actually at their house.
Came right
So you
over
went
to
to
my
Matt's
house.
I was at Matt's house.
Didn't even think twice. Just no. F his family.
I was super tired. I knew I was tired, but and I wanted to be able to sleep in, and I had stuff I had to do around here. So you went to find snow, and you went to Pioneer Town,
right? Because I knew the 330 was going to be a shit show
Crap
trying
show,
to get up there. So I'm like, I'll just take the hour drive, go up to Pioneer Town.
Get your notepad ready. This is a Jose story.
What does that mean?
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Then you'll be talking a lot. That's all I'm saying.
Well, if it's my story,
I'm
so
just saying.
I gotta tell it.
All I'm saying is you're gonna be using.
Isn't that the theme of the show? I have a story we want to hear.
Yeah. All I'm saying is you're gonna use a lot of words right now.
They're not $5 words. They're a lot of 50-cent words.
Okay.
They're not gonna be very hard to pronounce.
I'm just thinking of one specific word.
Oh, it's
That's
coming.
all I'm saying.
It's coming. I'm just not gonna say when.
Oh, the anticipation is killing me.
Okay, so you go to find snow.
So I'm trying to find snow because I want my son to play in the snow. So I get to Pioneer Town. The section we everybody airs down, like the beginning of Burns Road. There's no snow. There's nothing. I was like, all right, maybe it's just down. So I was following the route we took last time. Last time it was
the death route.
The death route.
You took death route?
No.
Yeah. No, the ice storm we drove.
Yeah. But you didn't turn left up into the hills.
No, so I was following the path we went on,
the normal route,
and it looked totally different because the last time we were there it was totally blanketed.
It was
dude.
2 feet of snow everywhere you went.
Here, you could have baked an egg on a rock, dude. That's how it was hot out there, dude. It was hot.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 80 degrees.
And you're looking for snow. Go on.
And Letty was like, "So where's the snow you keep talking about?"
Oh my God! Can you imagine that car ride?
You do realize snow is ice, right?
After making her drive an hour and a half,
Yes.
I could hear her wit just like crack, crack, crack constantly.
I just didn't want to look in the rearview mirror anymore.
Now I wish I'd gone.
I'm like, I promise, there's snow. It's coming. Yeah.
Sounds like me on Pilot Rock Road. I promise it's going to get easier right on the other side of this ridge.
Oh, I thought the other part what he was saying.
Yeah, me too. I was like, it's good. But
gross.
so I got to the part where everybody almost died on that mountain hatch trip.
Yep.
Dude, it was not very far at all. It was like maybe 10 minutes into the trip, but there's no ice. There was no snow, no patches of snow, no nothing, dude. I drove the entire way from Pioneer Town to Big Bear, not one patch of snow.
That's insane. What did your wife say when you finally got up to
She's like, man, there's a lot of snow here. Can we go back home? Because it's too much snow for me. So, I mean, I ended up driving up to Big Bear Lake, and there was snow up there, but it was more like melt off, and then all the snow was packed in the mountain, like in the actual mountain part where...
You know what? Not to be, you should have, but the last time we went up to Big Bear, we took the 38, and there was a lot of snow up there because it's on the backside of the mountain.
Yeah, but I don't want you to leave another voicemail saying, you know what I hate is when
94 Land Cruisers
parked on side of the road and having their kids play in the snow. Yeah, I don't want to receive that.
No,
call,
but there are areas on the 38 where you could pull over and park and play. But just that surprises me. It surprises me that entire area was.
There was mud puddles because you saw my truck. It's full of mud.
Your truck is trashed.
But yeah, I mean, it was cool. We ended up on there's a park. I called Casey. So I'm like, hey, dude, I'm trying to find somewhere my kid can play in the snow, dude.
He's all, come to my house.
He's like, there's a park, Meadow Park or Meadow Hills. It's like right along the lakes. It's lakeside.
Oh, okay.
So we went there. It was cool. There's snow patches there.
That's a long ass way to get to Big Bear Lake, though.
For sure, dude. It was like
it took you 3 hours to get to Big Bear.
100%.
It would have been less time. It would have been less time to go up to 3:30.
The 3:30 is right there by my house. Yeah.
Exactly from your house. It's 45 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man!
But it was cool because I hadn't off-road the truck since I put the 35s and the locker in it.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
Forgot because we've been so so many other things going on.
But it was cool, dude. The truck is great.
Did you, while you were going up there, did you scope out any area that we could use as our hideout once this zombie apocalypse hits?
Segway.
Yeah,
you don't have to announce the segue.
That's what you call a segue.
No,
you don't have to.
If you do the segue correctly, people don't even read. No,
segue, guys. We're going to talk about something else. Segue.
The listeners come along the ride. You bring them along the ride. Saying the word segue eliminates that.
No, look, I signaled. That's like a turn signal, and I'm just letting everybody know.
He's being a courteous podcast.
He's being Drax. He's being. We are making segue now.
Yeah, there's a few spots there we can hide out for a while up there.
So I mean, without getting too political or crazy. So as we're recording this on March 16th,
I don't think it's
2020.
political. Like, dude, shit's crazy right now.
Yeah, it is. It is nutballs right now. Like Friday afternoon, I stopped at the grocery store. And it was a legit, like, we needed groceries. So I've made the comment before, like, Tammy and I, we're not great at groceries. She'll order groceries probably once a week, but what she orders is the same stuff we get every week. So by the end of the next week, we will need bread and milk and cereal and whatever all over again. We don't have once that stuff is gone, we don't have a stock of like a couple days worth of food. So I thought, I started, paying attention to the news, and I wasn't concerned about coronavirus outbreak. I started to be concerned about food shortage. Like, you see these people coming out with 4 carts of food, and I'm like, man, now I'm concerned about not having food, in between that time. So I'm just gonna go stock up on stuff. Nothing major. Just get the basics. Yeah. I got there, all the top ramen was gone.
Yep.
Most of the soup was gone. Most of the canned vegetables was gone. All of the rice was gone.
The toilet paper.
All of the toilet paper was gone.
Toilet paper was gone. Like, first thing.
All of the paper towels were gone. And this is the afternoon. This is 2:30 on Friday.
2:30 o'clock. Is that what you're gonna say?
I stopped myself from saying it.
So I had court day in the morning on Friday, and again, I wasn't thinking about like
because of the Me Too movement.
No. Come on, guy. Let's not talk about that. That's horrible.
So you're not denying it.
Again, it was a misunderstanding. Come on, guys. Making me feel bad. I do feel horrible. Like, I can't believe she said that. Anyhow.
It's okay. I'm gonna.
I know. All right, hold on. So back to my court that had nothing to do with anything I said the week before at a certain show.
And you know, and nobody,
You know what we're talking about?
nobody knows what we're talking
No,
about.
it's good.
Because I didn't.
That's right. That's
So
right.
It didn't make it.
There was.
Are we going to talk about it?
Just quickly? No,
Real
just
quick,
quickly.
real quick.
We're not even going to tell the story. There was a conversation.
Let Jose tell it because he was there.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a section of the
You're
day.
going to twist it and make me seem like a weirdo because you're a weirdo and you were not there.
So this was
Jose, please.
the Adventure Expo. Matt and I we had some downtime. We're like, you know what? Let's get on the mic.
That's when we come up with our goals.
Yeah.
let's mine some gold, Jose.
So you know where the Icon trailer was?
Yep.
In front of the trailer was a coffee stand and then a taco stand.
Yeah.
And there was a girl that worked at the taco stand. She kept walking back and forth, whatever. But she came up to me and Matt.
Right. So she goes.
She asked for a lighter, right?
She asked, "Do you know where the smoking section is?"
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And
that's
I'm
right.
all, I don't know. You know, I don't smoke. You know, whatever.
And she's like, "Oh, okay, thanks."
She
was
then
walking away.
kind of walking around, and I go, "You can smoke back here. I don't care." And then she's all, "No, that's okay." And I go, I take it back. I don't want to get in trouble anyhow. I meant like I don't want you smoking in our tent. And then getting me in trouble. She turns around and goes, "No, it's cool. I'm 21." Like, what happened? How did that get
Were you pointing at the Asrex 1 trailer when you said that?
I don't know.
Come here, you can jump in this trailer with me.
No, you glossed over the very important part when you said you're like, "I don't give a shit. You can smoke back here," but she took it as like, "No, it's okay." Like. It's like almost if you were hitting on her. That's what she thought.
Oh my god!
But it was you're just like, dude, I don't give a shit. You can smoke back here. Like,
exactly. I don't care. Smoke wherever you want. Yeah, and then I said, "No, I take it back. Don't get me in trouble." And it's cool. I'm 21.
And you're like, "Oh no! I didn't mean it like that."
God, no. Please don't dox me or whatever that is.
And now you have court on Friday.
And then for the rest of the day, she kept walking back and forth. And Matt was like, he wouldn't look at her. He's like, "Oh, don't make eye contact."
So anyhow,
that wasn't what your court date. Okay, so you're at court on Friday.
Yeah, court date, and Monty and I didn't have the kids, and it was like, "Oh, let's go to Costco just to stock up on food or whatever lunch stuff." And it was a madhouse. It was probably 11 o'clock, and you couldn't find parking. They were kind of throttling people to enter the store.
Yeah,
there wasn't necessarily a line, but it was packed. We went inside just to shop. Like, hey, we're at Costco. Let's check it out. We don't have to buy anything, but we already got out of the car. Madness inside. The checkout line zigzagged through the store, and there was a corner where it ran back to. It was impassable. Like, you couldn't get into the freezer section because that's where the line turned around. So it went, within a 50-foot span. Wow. It turned, so it was just madness. We left, and I'm like, that's when it hit me. I think this is related to like coronavirus. Mm-hmm. And then on the way, I said, well, let's just, because normally Monty buys stuff online, they just deliver, you pay a service or something like that.
Yeah,
she's like, I'm just
Instacart.
gonna do that. Let's just go home. And we drove by Vaughn's on the way home, and again it was like packed. The parking lot was completely packed, and it was like noon on Friday, so it wasn't like everybody was already off of work. This seemed really out of the norm. And 2 hours later, when she finished doing her shopping and she hit purchase, half of it was unavailable.
Yeah.
Like it was already bought out. And I went, whoa, we don't have shit in our cupboard. Like, we have we're day to day as far as groceries. There might there's popcorn, some mac and cheese, and maybe a can of chili. That's it in our cupboards. And now all of a sudden everybody's making a run on everything. So again, the toilet every time. Oh, and then at each stop, you saw people wheeling out with toilet paper.
That was the thing. Not buying toilet paper for a couple of days. What could possibly prompt someone to buy 10 packages
Out
of
of-
toilet paper.
Out of all the things that I would have put, like, what's the first thing people are gonna?
So
I didn't think toilet paper would be like on the list.
So that's okay. I go to I know a secret place to get some toilet paper.
Home
like,
Depot.
Yeah, I thought nobody realized. You can buy toilet paper at Home Depot. Oh no, everybody knew. It was sold out at Home Depot. It was sold out at Walgreens across the street. And then I called Monty. You wouldn't believe, this is madness. It's crazy. And then I went to there was a Ralph's next door, and again I had to park like a quarter mile away and walk into the store. I barely made it. And so at that point, everybody inside the store was like panic shopping, like head on a swivel, like looking, oh, get those cookies, like it's like, you don't know if you're going to turn, if you come back around, whether that thing you just saw was still going to be there or not.
I don't understand why people are stockpiling on perishable things like milk and bread, though.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, look, there was another lady with a cart full of milk. I'm like, that milk's not going to,
that's like 2 weeks max.
Yeah,
exactly.
There was a lady at the Ralph's here locally that had, like, those trays of chicken wings? She had like 20 of them. I am not, like, all of the chicken wings that Ralph's had are gone, and this lady got them. Like, and when I showed up, you're absolutely right. I told a madhouse, and I knew it was going to be a madhouse, and I literally put, like, cool, mellow music in my ears, in the headphones, and I was like, I'm going to be... I don't care how long I'm here. I'm just going to be the nicest dude in the world. Like, I just cruised, and, like, everybody was, to your point, like, panicking, and I'm like, no, you're cool.
But I told Monty, if you had just stuffed your cart full of stuff and then just shot right out the store and didn't pay,
no one's in this.
nobody would stop. It would have started a run and a panic of everybody.
Well, I don't think anybody would have noticed. They wouldn't even have noticed.
No. I think everybody else would have went, F this, and just ran out with their shit too. Like, it's kind of borderline. That's the read I get. We're like on the cusp of something really shitty,
Well, do you know? Is it? And it was crazy.
People
all
need
weekend.
to calm down. We all need to relax.
It was crazy all weekend. Joe Cal posted a picture on Facebook, a video on Facebook of the Costco in Bakersfield with the line going a quarter mile long.
Yes.
Do you know if it calmed down at all? Do anybody check?
So this morning, I dropped my son off in Fontana. I drove by 2 grocery stores, Superior and Winco.
Yeah.
They both had lines. They weren't even open yet. They both had lines already wrapped.
No.
And if the Mexicans are starting to worry, it's a bad thing. That's a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's crazy. Like,
I saw somebody online post, I've never seen so many white people in the El Rancho market. That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude.
El Mercado.
Yes.
Well, it's I don't know. I mean, we were just talking about earlier. My office, as of today, my office went full work remote.
Andre too. Right?
Andre was saying that
100%.
you guys 100% remote. I get it, and I think I'm trying to like take the position of practical caution, like not panicking, but also not disregarding the suggestions of the experts and trying to find a middle ground.
Again, I don't want to be like Debbie Downer, but nobody is like really sick yet, right? It's not like it's not like the hospitals are flush full of sick people yet.
No, but that's what they're trying to prevent. So what they're saying is that in this, okay, and look, I'm going to disclosure here. None of us are medical scientists,
And I know Debbie Downer. She's really not that bad a person.
She's all right.
She's got a good personality.
She's into The Cure and she likes Morrissey. and we both do. I mean, we have something in common.
So what I've heard and read and seen is that the with these types of communicable diseases, the concern is that the more transmittable they are, the faster the spike is to the peak of everybody getting sick. So flu season.
It's exponential.
Yeah, so the normal flu season, everybody gets sick and then everybody drops off and it's fine. They build immunities, they're fine. The concern is that this spreads so fast that peak will be exponential and it'll go so fast that there will not be hospital beds and medicine and all that. So what they're saying is the social distancing, the working from home, the taking precautions may not lower the number of people that get affected, but it will spread that infection rate out.
Flatten the curve.
Flatten the curve, exactly. So that it doesn't get so bad where you've got half the
Is
population
that like
sick at the
shooting
same
the
time.
curl? Flatten the curve? I've heard of shooting the... Right? You're
Like,
shooting the curl? Never
Like a layup? No.
I think that's a
That
surf.
was
It's a surf-
horrible.
It's a surf movie.
It is a surf term. Have you ever surfed?
That's somehow I heard about this term.
This is horrible.
So it's not.
No, it's not.
Flatten the curve.
Flatten the
it's
curve.
not like shooting the curl.
So that the intent is if we can
Jose, help me.
no you
No,
no I'm
there's
going to
not.
turn your mic off. There's
Oh, man.
there's no there's if we can minimize the impact of that spike of people getting sick as a society as a whole, it'll be better, right? So there's a lot of precautions being taken right now. People are working from home, changing their day-to-day routines.
My kids are home from
Kids
school.
are closed from school, and again, I mean, you'll have people on either side of the spectrum saying that this is ridiculous.
Luckily, Monty works from home, basically. She's home most of the time. So that's not going to be a super major hit for us. But I
what
think
about-
we're the exception. I can't imagine if... Dre, do you have kids?
Nope.
Oh.
Oh, man, seem pretty happy about that.
Do you want a couple?
He said it with such glee. He's like, nope. Fist
The
bump.
reason why I said it like that was because
Have you seen my rig? Of course I ain't got no kids.
I want to take on my back seats. I want to do a rear seat delete. No, but I mean, if you're like you have two parents and like okay, now we're sending the kids home and both parents work, like that's a whole another.
That's
Oh
a
yeah,
whole issue.
it's a whole thing. Like, and one of the shows I was listening to was talking about first responders and people in the medical field. So imagine if you've got a parent that has kids in school, that school is closed. Now the firefighter, the police officer, or the nurse working at the emergency room, they have to figure out how we need those people working. So they were like, if you live in a neighborhood and there's first responders or medical, and you're staying home from school with your kids, offer to take their kids for a day or
You gotta
two so they
take
can work.
other
and shit.
people's kids? It's
Yeah.
bad enough with my kids. I gotta take other people's kids?
But
Like,
it's
we're
saw
at
that-
full capacity over
Sell
here.
that, sell that to Monty. Go ahead.
no, I'm not going to
I'll
try to do
take
that.
your kids. Hey, why don't you take my kids?
It's it's I mean it's a real thing. There's going to be a real impact on society, on the economy. I mean we're already seeing it. I know this isn't not necessarily off-road related, but I will.
Oh, it could be.
It could be. I was going to say because
Run for the hills.
we've talked about. There's been a lot of people putting posts up there. So you want to do some social distancing, and there's a picture of their rig out in the middle of the desert camping for go camp for a week. You'll be.
Yeah, I think we're talking months, though. Go camping
Yeah, what did
for
they
months.
just recommended 8 weeks of
Yes.
like social distancing, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the 50 group rule is a 8-week rule
Yep.
as of today.
Well, in San Francisco today went like all like,
Nobody cares about
kinda-
San Francisco. To be honest with you, they don't.
Well,
they can do
look,
whatever they want.
I will tell you that
There's
driving.
two cities I can't stand.
Really, San Francisco?
Dude, I'm a Dodger
What's one
fan.
of them? What's one of them? Hemet?
You come on. Of course, I wouldn't even. I take that back. I wouldn't even call that a city. It's like a shanty town.
The Corona traffic, the COVID traffic today on the
was
way
great.
to Lake Forest, man, I could do some COVID traffic, social distancing. If I had to go back in the office, I'm fine with that. But I do think that there's going to be, we're fortunate that Presley's school is not closed right now. But if it does, Tammy and I are going to have some real hard conversations because we both work. It's going to be like, okay, who's going to do what and when? And Matt and I talked about, we joked around about our escape plan. I would jump up and, head up to the mountains to mom and dad's house. Well,
So we're all going to jump in the frontier, right? We don't want to trust the
No.
We don't want to trust the Ford to get us out of town.
Well, we still has a Tacoma, so we'll just take that.
Oh, that's true.
but going up to the mountains, that concerns me because both my parents are elderly and mom's recovering from cancer, and dad's not in the greatest. Last thing I want to do is bring the virus up there, right? So because that's the concern, is that you can be a carrier without having symptoms. So I mean, it just becomes like, what do you do? I mean, and I think this brings to light for some people. I'm thinking about the overlanders, like. They're set up for this, like the zombie apocalypse. Like you got your tent, you got
your diesel powered
you got your diesel powered heater, you've got a refrigerator, all that stuff. You can get out. Like I don't have a good earthquake kit or disaster kit or like this is I think the thing that's going to prompt me to build that kit, that bug out bag, that get ready to go.
Better get on it.
I know.
One of the biggest memes I've seen is like it's like all of us scrambling and then doomsday preppers like sipping the coffee. Like, we've been ready for this, you know?
Yeah, who's laughing now?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's who knows what the coming weeks are going to look like, but. There's been a lot of, we were joking around on our episode agenda thing. There's always a segment there for community events, and right now it's none. Like everything's getting canceled. I had heard that the
Vegas is shut down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeep Safari got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Did they cancel the actual Jeep Safari? The first thing I read was that they canceled.
Gone Moab or no?
No. They canceled like the Easter Jeep Safari. They canceled the vendor, some kind of vendor stuff and barbecues or whatever. But the trail runs and stuff. At least this was as of a few days ago. I don't know. We can look while we're talking, but I heard that the Toyota Jamboree in Texas is in jeopardy, if not already closed down.
Overland Expo's still on though, right?
As of now,
As of now,
I wouldn't be surprised if they canceled it though.
well, I mean, it's far enough out to where it's
Still though, it's in May. It's only a couple months away. Everything's like minimum 8 weeks.
there is a couple things on the internet that says Easter Jeep Safari is canceled.
I mean, it is like
the vendor show.
weeks away.
It's on Facebook, dude. Come on. You
Well,
can't,
I'm looking.
can't trust that.
The vendor show is canceled. Here we go. Red Rock Off-Roaders. I don't see anything. Grand County City Council is putting on an emergency ordinance limiting attendance at special events. A careful review of the attendance limits on mass events has put us in the position of canceling the vendor expo held in conjunction with Easter Jeep Safari. So I think as of right now, the vendor expo, that piece is canceled, but all of the trails for Easter Jeep Safari will go off as scheduled. Meeting places and times will remain the same. All Easter Jeep Safari related activities will be handled on a case-by-case basis. So the trail run piece still happening. They're just not going to let everybody congregate around like a vendor show off.
Like no Hammer Town.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No Hammer Town, but still. I mean that's. I mean it's a damn shame, but I got to commend them for kind of trying to do what's right. And that's the crappy part. Like some of these big events that are canceling. Yeah, you want them to push through, but should they be ground zero?
Yeah, exactly.
How does that? How would they take that as from a moral or
the risk is not worth for
the
sure.
reward.
It's not. I mean, just because I wanted to go to Expo, like that's the one show that I really wanted to go to. But if it doesn't happen, no big deal. I mean,
yeah, it's
who cares?
So contingency plan. If we don't go to Expo, then Mojave's back on.
Mojave's back
because as of
on.
right now, we were planning on doing Mojave the week after Expo.
Yeah.
We were going to cancel our annual Mojave trip to be able to do the Expo. If Expo doesn't happen, then Mojave's back on. So,
Okay. And I'm good with that.
Yeah, Matt's happy again.
So we'll do something around that time, no matter what. But it's just it's crazy town out there, and I think that we've talked about the community, the off-road overland community as a whole, like always banding together and helping each other out. And I think right now needs to be that time outside of the trail, in real life, finding ways to help each other get through a bunch of this stuff. If like I said, if someone needs help with childcare or
Well, you're right. Like when I was in that store and you got that vibe, like that. Oh man, this is everybody's
Shit's
on
hitting
edge.
the fan, yeah.
Everybody's on edge. I was extremely polite and like, oh, everything's you're fine. Like people are banging into your cart while you're running, making a mad sprint for the toilet paper that just showed up.
Yep.
Because that happened. They announced over the PA, hey, everybody, there's a load of toilet paper and
Why would
paper
they
products.
announce that? Just put it out there.
I'm just telling you.
they're like,
And
hey,
you know
everybody,
what?
free gold in aisle 12.
Nobody wants that.
Come
dude.
and get it. Come and get it. And I got caught up in there and I moved as fast as I could. I don't want to say I ran because, I don't really run anymore. But I went right to the front of if there was a line, and just started grabbing stuff and got out of there. But yeah, it's concerning. There's definitely, you got to take everything. I'm blanking out right now.
I think going back to what
I don't have any insight anymore.
Just pragmatic or practical caution, right?
It's just it's something that I don't think any of us, like in our generation, my parents, have never really gone through.
Yeah, has there? I mean,
like there was shut down everything.
Yeah, because think about in our lifetime there was Ebola. There was
H1, but they contained that real.
That's what I was just going to say. H1N1, right?
Yeah.
In both of those cases,
but those were like, dude, like it came and went so fast.
Yep, and there was no concern that it was in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? It was like,
well, I think it's the fatality rate.
That's the thing. If this thing was like a fatality rate of Ebola,
people say, oh well, people get so many people die of the flu.
Yeah,
but the exposure, it's like 0.1%. Whereas this is 2% of people exposed. It's multiple times more deadly.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard like the majority of and I'm not discounting anybody's fatalities, but the majority of the fatalities have been people of elderly age and or of diminished immune systems.
Yeah,
but that's a lot of people. There are
with respiratory problems.
Yeah.
I mean, it's people with
underlying conditions.
Yeah.
Diminished immunity. That means if you're like your parents,
30-year
smokers.
Yeah, no, I'm 100%. My parents are at risk. That's why we're not going to go up there for a month at the least.
Yeah.
But it's crazy town, and
it's just a weird vibe.
It's a weird vibe
because but what's cool about it too, the flip side of it is like when I drove up to your house, like you saw a family riding there, like people are spending more time together. I mean, I don't know if the family rides their bike every evening, but I don't know. I don't know. But it gives people a chance that normally don't spend time with their kids during the day or whatever to do that now.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that people that are impacted either by work closures or work from home or whatever have the means to make the best of it.
Yeah. I mean, what's cool though, a lot of companies they're either waiving their monthly fees for a couple months, like Spectrum. They're not going to shut down, like if you're past due, they're not shutting down anyone's service right now because a lot of people are working from home or are at home.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of companies that are, trying.
I saw Universal was releasing like all their movies they have out right now are going to be available to stream on Friday.
Disney Plus released Frozen 2 3 months early just so that it was available for people to watch while they're home.
Do you still have to pay?
Yeah, still have to pay for Disney Plus, and I've watched Frozen 2's 10 times since.
Yeah, it came out Friday. Week. I think I've seen it 8 times already.
Yes. Absolutely,
but they left Star Wars off that list because that last Star Wars was
awful.
Good.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, don't!
Oh, dude, look,
I have to.
You have
seen all the other ones,
and I saw it with Joe.
Dumb.
I saw it with my buddy Joe Pacinelli, Mr. Joe, and he's on the live feed right now. Joe, you got to call Matt and tell him that he's wrong. I don't know what his problem is.
Go ahead and try to. You're wrong about Star Wars sucking. You need to open your eyes, and you should have. Where were you when that movie was being shown? Were you in the theater? It was dumb.
So, I guess I mean
let's change the subject.
Well, just I want to close on
positivity.
Yes, on a positive note. Like as a community, we've always talked about banding together. We've always talked about having each other's back, not leaving someone stranded on a trail, helping each other out. Let's take that same community vibe that we have out in the desert, out in the mountains, out on the trail, and kind of shift that to your neighborhood, shift that to your, family and friends, and be the people that are reaching out and helping and finding ways to, when you go, if you do find toilet paper, buy an extra pack for someone.
What if they have an intense cough? Are you still gonna help them out then?
Yeah, we're gonna still help him out from a distance. Like throw the new roll of toilet paper to him from the drive. Like be the paper boy. Drive down the neighborhood and start chucking rolls of. Remember, dude, we used to. I saw a meme that said in my day we had so much toilet paper that we used to throw it on people's houses, and we were. Dude, in high school, we toilet papered every weekend. But so be a different kind of toilet paper guy. Like put them all in individual Ziploc bags and just drive through a neighborhood and launch toilet paper out onto people's driveway.
I saw a meme of someone had like 3 dime bags with toilet paper, and it's like, hit me up if you need that.
Oh, I've seen all kinds of
Sanitizer.
one of the manufacturers. I can't remember if it was DeMello or C4 or whatever, or what CBI was like free roll of toilet paper with a purchase of any bumper.
I think it was DeMello.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I mean, people are making fun of it, but it's a real thing.
They put the mask over the snorkel. Of their
So I guess the challenge is going to be to find ways to help each other out, whether it be,
toilet paper distribution,
kid care, or whatever. Just go the opposite direction. As people are panicking and freaking out, let's kind of step up our community and try to help everybody out. That's my thought.
Yes.
Segue alert.
Yes.
Segue alert. Just so everybody knows, we're going to segue.
What are we going to segue into?
Listener mail.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have a couple voicemails. I'm looking at them now. We got a couple really long voicemails, so these may or may not make it completely.
This is Dave in Oregon. You guys are going to do your trail
Rangers
Trail Ranger podcast.
Well, we have one. Let's see. So the first one is from Sandwich Lady. Let's see what she has to say. Ready?
Hello, this is the sandwich lady from Instagram, Sarah. I'm calling in my first time, and first off, I just wanted to let you know that Lewis, Jeep in the Life on Instagram, did make it out of that cave fine. We had a great time down at Blue Holler. A little bit about myself, since this is my first time calling in. I am actually a stay-at-home mom. I have right now, almost 4-year-old and an almost 1-year-old.
Wow, a lot of work.
I take care of them. And then on the side, I work on Jeeps. And sometimes I fix Lewis's Jeep. So I'm actually on the way to the trail right now to the Louisville Zoo in Louisville, Kentucky. I might see some, minivans or Prius vehicles. Pretty treacherous stuff. You gotta watch out for all these crazy Louisville drivers here. Nothing like LA drivers.
No.
So my hat's off to you all driving in that mess. But this is my first time calling in, and shout out to Lewis, and thank you for making awesome podcasts. It's really entertaining to listen to. And I'll actually be in your area towards the end of May and first week of June, so it'd be really cool if we were able to meet up. And we'll be driving from Indiana to California and back in the Jeep Wrangler, the one that I said, my spider gears are busted on, but that'll be fixed before we go. And also, before I go, I just spent almost $1,000 fixing it yesterday. It needed a new oil cooler, and while that was all torn apart, I went ahead and have the shop do an oil change and spark plugs, and I'm very capable of doing that myself, but with kids by myself, it would have taken a week to do. And if it was just Lewis and I, it would have taken us a weekend. But I needed it quick, and I needed quality, and neither of those are cheap. Anyhow, you all have a great week, and I'll see you the next time when I call in. Thank you. Bye.
Well, thank you, Sandwich Lady. I love the fact that she's fixing her husband's Jeep.
God, I can't get Monty to like do laundry for me, let alone work on my truck.
And as far as her plans to drive to California,
I was gonna say no, she's not. If she was gonna fly over here, I'm like, she's not coming over.
yeah,
here.
that may be changing after our recent events. So if she does, we'll figure it out. But I mean,
Well, thanks for listening.
yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for the voicemail. And good luck on the trip. I wonder if the kids are coming. God, can you imagine driving from Indiana with a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old? Oh man,
Those are nightmares for me. Don't do it.
Andre's over here like, what? I don't understand, dude.
What are you
It
guys
is
talking
the
about?
worst. Like,
How fast do you? I think Matt would break the Indiana to California record.
yeah,
If
he'd be Cannonball Run and
Yeah.
eastbound down, loaded up and trucking.
No, I'd probably just stop halfway, jump out of the truck, and just hand Michael the keys. Just find your way home.
figure it out.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Oh, okay. Well, see, the next one is from Dave from Oregon.
Hey, Trailchasers, it's Dave from Oregon. Something broke on my Ranger. What? And I'm not too happy about it. It's driving down the road, just on our street, going to Home Depot, trying to get some fertilizer to get the lawn growing early and make the yard look nice. Thought I would get an early start on it, and no deed goes unpunished. Heard a loud bang. Didn't think anything of it, kept driving. Parked it, got home, and parked it. Parked it once I got home. And got in it the next day to look, and there was a crack going across my windshield.
Oh.
Damn Ford windshield. Newspaper.
Notorious.
Clear newspaper. It broke so easy. I couldn't believe it.
Had to say I told you
So
so.
that's about it. Everything else was running great. So if that's the only problem I have, then I guess I'll be lucky. I did want to comment on listening to this last podcast about some guy who said he doesn't like what you guys have become because of the fake influences of some BS. I love the show format. I think it's great. I like hearing the banter back and forth between you guys too, and sometimes the last couple ones you have a lot of interviews, and that's awesome. But just having the three of you talk amongst each other more sometimes is pretty good. But I also know that a lot of people listen to you, and you get a lot of folks reaching out to kind of tell their story, and I think that's awesome too. So overall, I think the mix is pretty good. Maybe a little bit more of just the three of you talking when you have stuff to talk about, but otherwise, I think the show's going great. You guys are growing, and you're getting more followers. You're getting some big names in the off-road business talking to folks and answering questions, and I think it's awesome. So keep it up. Free plug from Dave from Oregon.
Thanks, Dave. You know what? The windshield, though, I mean, that's... Come on. I mean, it happens. There's nothing you can do about that, right? I mean...
I'll give you that one.
Right? I mean, it doesn't matter what vehicle you're in. If something pops up and hits your windshield, it's going to chip.
Well,
Yeah, like the hood ornament or something part of your grill.
When's the last time...
Maybe the hood itself.
When's the last time...
It'd probably whack your windshield.
When's the last time a car came off the lot with a hood ornament? 1968, Matt. Like, they don't even... Unless you're buying a Rolls Royce, and nobody in this room is buying a Rolls
I'm
Royce.
just saying, it's probably what it would be.
Okay, well...
So going along with what he said, so Andre, I'm not trying to put you on the spot right now, but
I'm gonna
put you on the spot right now. I mean, you listen to the show. I mean, we have our view, but do you think it's pretty balanced as far as like just interviewing and then what he said, like just back and forth?
I mean, the banter is obviously cool. Like, I love the relationship you three have.
I don't.
Well, I think a lot of people that listen to it do. So the reason we tune in at the end of the day is to hear you guys go back and forth. But it's cool to like have another input, you know, and like because you need stuff to talk about, you know.
Well, yeah, and we're really good at. I mean, you could pretty much you could throw a topic on the table and we'll fill an hour. Like that's just, but we want it to be relevant and we want it to be things that people are interested in.
I think the concern is the people that we have on now it was what was in question. It wasn't just us anymore interviewing people that we saw on the trail or sitting in a parking lot, talking about stickers. Now we actually have interesting people on, industry people even. So
Yeah,
I think
TrailTrek.
that's I think that was the complaint. Like, oh, now we're
You're
so
big time, bro.
Yeah,
You're big time.
No.
yeah.
No, I mean, I'm sure you're gonna get a voicemail next week from someone saying like, "Why is he on the show?"
No way, dude. They're gonna be like, you're gonna bring him back on, and bring some of his Subaru buddies.
Do you have Subaru buddies? Can you get them to listen to the show?
No, I mean, I've been like, they're like, dude, we're ready. Like, when does it drop? I was like, I'll keep you posted. No, I mean, that's the thing is like,
They're all sitting outside like
They're like the outsiders, dude. They're just like ready to rumble, dude.
it's like you guys are still like back to the coronavirus. You're still on that slope going up. There's still a bunch of hospital beds to fill.
So, I mean, if there's one thing we can do, it's put people in the hospital. Yeah, that's kind of our thing. Now, and this is not because you're on the show. We've said this from day one. Like, wheel what you got, man. If you got something you want to go wheeling with, let's go. We'll all go together. Like, we don't care what we're going to make fun of everything, right? I mean, these guys are going to make fun of the Ford because they're jealous, and but we'll make fun of everybody, and then we'll still have you come on the trail with us, though.
It's just like the first time I met Fred from Mountain Hatch, I was like, we were sitting at the campfire, and I was, oh, I really thank you guys for like allowing me to sit here. And he's like, whoa, slow down.
He's like, you're still trying out, buddy.
I'm still trying.
Yeah, we're still trying to get into that circle too.
Exactly.
Okay, we got one more voicemail. This is from Weberlander.
What up, Trailchasers? It's Weberlander. I just wanted to leave you a quick message. I'm trying to catch up on episodes. You guys know what I do for a living, so last several weeks have been pretty hectic, pretty crazy, working weekends and all that to keep the project on schedule. But anyway, regarding the episode with Rebecca and the comments and talk about snorkels, I heard a price tag, and I know there are some costs out there I've seen as far as $600 plus dollars, sometimes $500 on sale. Have a look at Dobinson's. It's Dobinson's USA, Dobinson's Suspensions. They do definitely make a snorkel for the Tacoma. Cody, obviously, now that you're driving a fix and repair daily vehicle, I don't know if they make something for that, but anyway, hope you look into that. There is some other cost-effective options out there. All right, later, guys. Love the show.
Yeah, Dobinson's is because they're Australian.
They're Australian.
And they've made their way over. They've got a big stuff. And it's funny. He said the episode with Rebecca. Remember how Jillian said that people call her Rebecca all the time instead of Jillian?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he I don't know if they like. That's kind of interesting.
I'm gonna do it out of
spite.
Out of spite now.
On comments now on like Instagram, you're like, "Hey, Rebecca, what's up?
Thanks for coming on the show."
But the snorkel thing. I mean, I don't think I've checked Dobinson's. And there's got to be. Ooh, you gonna put a snorkel on the Subaru?
I was just thinking about that. I know actually a lot of people like put like the Mitsubishi Montero snorkels fit on like old Foresters and stuff.
Oh, really?
They just DIY them. So I mean, I might hit up Matt to make one. For me.
Oh, dude.
Some 3-inch PVC.
Dude. Like I said, let me go through the list.
3-inch PVC.
Leave the.
Do you want it in PVC or do you want it in vent pipe, flue pipe?
Since we're all going to be working from home,
some screws.
Since we're all going to be working from home this week,
pipe wrench. My impact. couple.
Sounds like Bubba from Forrest Gump.
No, totally Bubba.
How many ways can you make it?
Coconut shrimp, pineapple shrimp.
Exactly.
Shrimp gumbo.
1-inch nipples. 1 inch, 45 degrees.
Since we're all working from home this week, leave the Subaru here. You take the Ford home because you're going to take the Ford and you're going to want one.
If you can get it home.
And then,
you live kind of far.
And Matt,
I'll take the Tacoma.
Matt and I will cut that front bumper off and add a snorkel. Just come pick it up tomorrow.
Make it from the same material. just bend it.
You have a 3-inch drain pipe, PVC drain pipe front bumper.
Oh, dude, there's so many. You know what? I've been thinking about it. I mean, we can do it at a drain pipe. We can do a flue pipe, PVC. There's like that
Double
flexible.
wall.
Seal tight. I mean, dude. Whatever, dude. We'll just walk around Home Depot. You pick the material.
Good luck.
I'm easy like that. I'm easy that way, dude. I'll put it together.
I was just listening to that song on the way here by the Commodores because I'm easy.
Oh yeah, Lionel Richie, dude. Nice.
I don't even know what to do with that. Where do you go with that?
Well, once the Subaru market gets to the point where more people want to buy in, then I'll put a snorkel on there. But you never know. Dobinson's.
Yeah, we'll have
Let's
to check
collab.
out. We'll have to check out Dobinson's for the snorkel stuff. But well, I think we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I think that's a good place to stop. The takeaway is thank you, Andre, for coming in and hanging out with us and talking about your rig and your adventures and stuff. And we're really excited to see where that thing's going to go next and get you on the trail with us.
Yeah, we got to get on trail run, dude.
Yeah.
Been a long time.
It's been a while, dude.
And
hammers, I guess. So like a month.
Yeah, so we need to get one in the next couple weeks. Get something going on. And then, and for those of you that are listening that have asked about when's the next trail run, legitimately we don't have one planned. We should, what's funny is like these guys come here every Monday, but they come in and like it's instantly we sit down and we start recording, and by the time we're done recording, it's like okay, it's 8-9 o'clock. We got to get home because we got to work the next day. It's like we don't have a chance to like sit and plan. Yeah. Every time we get together, it's like boom, 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 out the door. So we haven't put together a plan for that.
So I think the plan I'm going to put together is I'm going to try and find Thunderdome, and then I'm going to try and I'm going to try and find out who we need to talk to so that we can get in on the ground floor. Like when is the meetup?
We're early adopters.
Exactly. So apocalypse, dystopian future.
So we can sign up.
We're in with the in crowd. So
we'll sign up as bouncers or something. So if we're working the door, we can't be thrown in the dome.
Oh no, we gotta go. No, you gotta go in the dome. You just don't want to be fighting.
Yeah,
in the
you don't
dome.
want to be fighting.
You want to be like
selling the popcorn.
Think
or
of it like ancient Rome. Like you want to be in the Colosseum. You want to watch the fighting. You don't want to be a gladiator. And that's what I'm saying. It's just when the apocalypse happens, and you've seen Fury Road. That's what it's going to look like coming down the 15 freeway. People are just going to... They're going to...
From Hemet? From Apple Valley?
Hanging
I don't even want to know about Hemet.
The guy playing guitar with flames coming out?
Exactly.
Are you going to be the guitar guy? I will pay money. I will make a thing on the front of my truck for you to stand on there and play the guitar as we drive into Hammers.
No, dude. You don't want to hear me playing music. But yeah, that's how it's going to be. So let's try and find those guys. Or that would be fun to start driving around Apple Valley. Like, that looks like the guy. He's going to be the head guy. And just start dropping hints. Like,
start placing, investing in people. Like, dude.
Whatever the password is, like, hey. Right? The dome. I can see if you just got to start conversations like that and see if it gets us in. Like, yeah, these guys are cool. When it all goes down, let them in. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
No, look, we got it. We'll be the announcers at Thunderdome because we have all the equipment. We have all the equipment. We'll just like sit outside and we'll do the play-by-play.
That's right. Okay, so everybody, High Desert peeps. That's definitely we're recruiting for. We're trying to. We're shooting for that job.
That market. That's what we're trying to hit.
Yeah, we're trying to hit that market.
We're just trying to do our part. We're just trying to do our part.
What do you guys want me to do? Do I need tattoos or something to get? You let me know.
So when you're ready to play on the Thunderdome, give us a call 951-394-DIRT. And we'll set up a...
Actually, that'd be good. Please call in and tell us what I need to do in order to qualify to get into Thunderdome. Thank you. It's going to be a 951 number.
And
cut that.
And
that's the end of the
good
show.
Night.
I'm Presley, and thank you for listening. Thank you to Next and Tire. Thank you to Icon. If you want to be on the show, call 951-394-DIRT. Thank you to Ryan Torino with all of the music.
I'm hitting like the little heart thing on there. I don't know what that does.
It vibrates. It makes it vibrate in my pocket.
Ooh. How you like that?
Don't stop.
Keep going.
I need 30 seconds.
Keep going,
I need
Matt.
30 seconds.
Take those hearts. Oh, just give me some time.
Yeah, well, but you're pushing the hearts, but why are you breathing so heavy, dude?
I told you.
Just using his fingers. All
I got the 10-year coronavirus. I've been breathing heavy for a while.
He's had it.
I'll tell you our events.
Edit that.
Our event segment just got real quick, real easy.
Really? That's super easy.
Hey, upcoming events? Nope.
None.